tell me a bit about the entrepreneurial journey. I mean, when did you realize you were an entrepreneur?
I just assumed that everyone was an entrepreneur. When I was young, I was always looking for opportunities to sell something, whether it was baseball cards or lemonade or doing a backyard carnival. I was always intrigued by this idea of having something that either solves a problem or provides value to a consumer and being compensated. That's kind of the reward for delivering that product or that service. But it really took hold when I was in college. My sophomore year at the University of Illinois, I played lacrosse. We didn't have a local supplier of equipment. I was taking an economics class at the time, and my professor explained to me this relationship between supply and demand. And what he explained to me is that when there is demand for a product or a service, and when the market doesn't satisfy that demand, there should be a market opportunity. And so rather than just sit in class and take notes, I thought, why not take action? Why not execute? And so I started my first business selling lacrosse equipment out of my fraternity room, and that was kind of the beginning of my entrepreneurial journey. I've never looked back since.
Yeah. So passion meets opportunity.
Yeah, sometimes it's just seeing a problem and questioning, well, is there a better way to solve it than the current situation? Back when I started my first business, the solution was mail order. If you needed product, there were mail order catalogs, there were toll-free numbers you could call. You waited 4 to 6 weeks for the product to arrive. There was no internet, there was no Amazon, there was no e-commerce. And so the world, at least back in the 80s, when I started my first business, was a very analog world. There was no digital technologies. We didn't even have cell phones or email at that point. Yeah. So you identify a problem, you create a solution based on the best technology that's available. And at that point, there wasn't a whole lot of it. We had a pager, to alert us when someone was trying to get in touch with us. But you figure out the best path forward and you deliver value to your customer. And if you can deliver value to the customer, that's what really differentiates you from your competition.
Yeah. In my case, I realized that I could be an entrepreneur because I always like to promote. Although I was oriented to be a doctor, and when medicine didn't work for me, I came to the US and I met Dr. Jim Laird, sports psychologist, and I realized that I could make him world famous. So creating a worldwide speaking tour from a sofa in Dusseldorf, not speaking German, but being there thanks to friends and succeeding was the proof. But we had fax. I had to do door-to-door. I had to do phone. You had to prove, especially because this is an intangible, that there will be value delivered. And in the case of sports, and the translation to executives is better than yesterday. Now, if you can prove that you're going to be better than yesterday, and people can feel the difference, that was like my demo, in a way.